paperback, 5,000 copies, and they just disappeared. They just, like a bat, swept them up, just sucked them right up. They put another 5,000 copies out there. The same thing happened. They didn't know 8, 9. This is some dozen years after the inimitable Wright David Eisenhower appointed a delegation. So the State Department was even embarrassed about this, and they asked me if I would go over at the same time and look into higher education in Nigeria simultaneously. I'm ashamed that I did go. See, you always have to guard against the blandishments and the flattery that he laid out there for you, and you therefore become a kind of dupe, unwittingly a dupe. Chair of the Department of History at Brooklyn College, I was a member of the New York Civil War Centennial Commission. I knew him in that capacity. He was chairman of that delegation, and he was always chasing around Lagos looking for John Hope. Having his picture made with John Hope and so on. So people thought that I was a part of the American delegation, and I wasn't. And that was unfortunate for the message that was conveyed by me to the Nigerians that I was somebody at home, and I was nobody at home, so far as the American delegation was concerned. But there were Americans who went and who, by that time, had in their hands even copies of From Slavery to Freedom. There's this marvelous picture, which I cherish, of a young woman getting off an airplane in Ghana with a book, clutching a book in her hand, and you can see in the newspaper, there she has, she's going a copy of From Slavery to Freedom, which has in it discussion of the background. By this time, Europeans and Africans are becoming interested in From Slavery to Freedom. So it could be some kind of international Latina, an international flavor, and various countries began to consider translating it into other languages. And it's rather remarkable that the first two countries that translated it were the Japanese and the Germans, the losers in World War II. The Japanese and the Germans. The first country was the Japanese, and the second was the Germans. The French came up with a slow, late edition, published not in Paris, but in Dakar, Senegal. And then later the Chinese, I got a package in the mail from someone in Flagstaff, Arizona one day. They said, you might like to know that there's a Chinese edition From Slavery to Freedom. And we're sending it to you. My father, and I knew the young woman's father in Wuhan, where I had been lecturing at the University of Wuhan. He sent it to her to send to me so that I would know that there was an English edition. And I notified my publishers that there was an English, Chinese language edition, although, because they didn't know it either. There had been no business transaction. So that I don't know how many copies there are in Beijing and Wuhan and in Guangzhou, but I know one thing, we don't get any gold. Not any whatever. And then when I was in Brazil in 1987, for my second or third visit to Brazil, they became interested in celebrating the 100th anniversary of the emancipation of the slaves in Brazil by publishing a Portuguese edition, Portuguese language edition of the Slavery to Freedom. that had come out by that time. Now, so that 1987, there had been the editions of 1947, 1956, 1974, 5, 1984, and 19...
I need to give you a receipt.
You know I meant it. I was giving you.
Maybe we should ask people who have the book already to come around.
If you already bought the book, you can come around.
We all have books here.
What do you want? Who is it? If they will write their names down now, it'll be very...
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, let's see if we can find something.
I talked to her last night.